Okay, we're live.
All right. Good evening. Welcome to Crawford Middle School's Go Team meeting, where we will follow the agenda as it has been emailed to you and publicly noticed. I would like to remind everyone that this is a meeting of the Go Team. Only members of the team may participate in the discussion. Any member of the public present are here to quietly observe. For members of the Go Team, please identify yourself when you speak. I am pleased to call this meeting of the Crawford Lawn Middle School Go Team to order at 5:35 p.m. Ms. Delnise.
Turn your mic on, Ms. Dionese.
Sorry. And okay, so Ms. Hall, are you present?
Oh, present. I skipped the
Okay.
whole line.
Mr. Webb, are you present?
Present.
Okay. Mr. Murphy, are you present?
I am present.
Ms. Clark, are you present? Nice to have you here. Ms. Clark, you may have to unmute yourself.
I'm here. I'm sorry. I'm here.
Hi. Good evening.
Good evening, all.
Hi.
Good evening.
Ms. Njai, are you present?
Yes, I'm present.
And Ms. McCoo, are you present?
Present.
Nice to see you, Ms. McCoo.
Great to see you too, Ms. Delnise.
The team will only be able to take official action if a quorum is present. Ms. Delnise, is there a quorum present?
I am very happy to say that there is.
Ms. Bond is present.
Our first order of business is to approve the agenda.
I'm sorry, Ms. Hall, I didn't realize that Ms. Chandra Vaughn was present. She just
Yes, Ms. Bond is present.
Okay, wonderful, Ms. Vaughn. That's nice to see you, that you're here. Fantastic.
All right. Our first order of business is to approve the agenda. This was provided to you and copies are here. Are there any changes to the agenda? May I have a motion to approve the agenda?
I move that the agenda be accepted as printed.
A second.
Jesse Webb, I second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
So the secretary can record your vote. All opposed say nay. Any abstentions? Please say abstain. The agenda has been approved. We will review and approve the meeting minutes from our last meeting. The meetings have been provided to you. Give you a couple of seconds to look over them. Are there any corrections? If there are no corrections, may I have a motion to approve the previous meeting's minutes?
I move that. Go ahead.
I'll take Chandra motion to approve. Mr. Murphy, do you want to second that?
I second that.
I didn't get there yet, but thank you guys for moving fast. All in favor, please say aye.
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 All opposed, please say nay. Any abstentions, please say abstain. The previous meeting's minutes have been approved. Our first action item is the strategic plan. Did everybody have a chance to look over it? Are we good? That's what I was following this. Wrong thing. The agenda, am I right? Yeah, the strategic plan approval update. Good.
That's what I'm trying. It's powering down now. It takes a minute.
You can't be in here talking. Do I have a motion to approve this item?
Motion to approve.
Can I have a second?
I second that motion to approve it.
All in favor say aye.
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 All not in favor say nay. Any abstentions, please say abstain. Okay, our strategic plan update has been approved. Ms. Mccall, are we still gonna do the select the parent?
No, we
Okay.
don't have to.
Okay, good. So skip that part. Okay, now we will move on to our discussion items on our agenda. First, we will have the continuous improvement plan presentation.
Okay, give me one moment. I'm about to share my screen. Please let me know if you all can see it once I share.
Your screen is up.
Please head to the bus
I
ride.
can't finish the announcement of it. Are you all able to see the screen now?
Yes.
I see.
It's looking different for some reason from my other device. It's actually in presentation mode. So
Take it out of because it's not on presentation for us. So the wrong screen is
let me
connected.
stop sharing.
Okay.
But see, that's not the screen that I'm seeing. Because you saw when I took it off, it did what it needed to do. Let me try this again. Okay. Good evening, everyone. Today, our discussion items will be a review of our continuous improvement plans that include the needs assessment, SMART goals, and action plans. We will also look at any alignments to the strategic plan and any updates, and we will also review our map data. As we discussed last meeting, this is our current strategic plan. Our SMART goals for this school year include for literacy. There were 8% of our scholars, 13.9% of our scholars that scored at the proficient or distinguished level on the Georgia milestones last school year. And based off of that, our goal was to increase our percentage of students scoring at the proficient above by 3%. So that would be to 16.9%. And then in numeracy or mathematics, 8% of our scholars score at the proficient or above level. And our goal is to get 11% of our scholars at the proficient or above level as based off the milestones for the 23-24 school year. And then our ADA, our goal was to increase from 87.5% to 90.5% for the upcoming school year. And with this plan, we've also listed some major priorities and also with those priority strategies that will be utilized to ensure that our scholars or support our scholars to allow them to get to their proficient level. These strategies also are included in our action plan with our SIP. So I'll proceed to the next slide so we can begin the SIP review. Our continuous improvement plan. Based off the data for Long Middle School, and when I say data, we looked at the Georgia milestone data alongside our ADA and other data we triangulated to determine these strengths and challenges. Here are some strengths that we did recognize as a team. 51% of our students in ELA met or exceeded their math growth target increased from winter to spring. 41% of our students in math met or exceeded their growth target, and that was an increase from winter to spring. Our CCRPI attendance increased from 44% to 50.9% during the 22-23 school year. The percent of our students score proficient or above In science increased from 6.6% to 9.7%. And also another strength that we identified, the number of behavior incidents decreased from 616 during the 22-23 from 616 to 542 during the school year 22-23. And here are some challenges that we did note from that data. The percent of students scoring in ELA proficient or above is 13.9%. The percent of students scoring in math is only 8% for proficiency and above. The ADA decreased from 88% to 87.5%. The percentage of students scored proficient or above in science was 9.7%, and 33.1% of our suspensions were the result of level 1 infractions. Now, our overarching needs for literacy, numeracy, and whole child intervention. For literacy, the overarching need is to increase the number of students in proficiency and above in ELA. And we do have that need in mathematics also. And for our whole child, our goal is to decrease the number of suspensions for level 1 infractions by providing alternative support and restorative practices. Are there any questions in regards to that slide? If not, I will proceed to the next slide. Again, those needs that we have to increase our number of students scoring proficient or above, both in ELA and mathematics, and also, again, to decrease the number of level 1 infractions in which our students are suspended for, and we'll do that by providing alternative supports and restorative practices. Now, our problem statement. Based on the data from the 22-23 GMAS, students are showing growth, and we're seeing that not only from the GMAS, but also from our math. But only 13.9% of those students are performing at proficient above at ELA. For our numeracy, our problem, based on data from the 2022-23 GMAS, students are showing growth, but only 8% are performing at proficient or above on the GMAS in mathematics. And for our whole child problem, based on the data, our ADA decreased from 88% to 87.5%. And again, this had to do with the number of suspensions for level 1 infractions. What is our root cause? As a leadership team, we sat down, and as we triangulated data, we had to determine the root cause for our concerns that we had needed to address in ELA, math, and for whole child. The root cause in ELA. As a leadership team, we have not developed ELA's teachers' competencies to personalize learning and deliver effective small group instruction. And that is also a root cause that we have seen in mathematics as well. And for the whole child, the leadership team has not actually defined level 1 infractions and provided strategies and support to adequately address those infractions. Now, our goals for this school year. The percentage of students in grades 6 through 8 will increase by 3% from 13.9% to 16.9% by May 2024. And again, we will use our Georgia Milestones Assessment System as our indicator for this increase. The percentage of students in grades 6 through 8 scoring proficient or above in math, as measured by the Georgia Milestones, will increase by 3% from 8% to 11% by May 2024. And our goal for our whole child, increase the average daily attendance rate, or ADA, from 87.5% to at least 90.5% by the end of the 23-24 school year. Now, how will we get that done? Right now, our teachers are doing a great job alongside our instructional coaches in making sure we're taking the adequate steps to support our scholars so we can see those increases on the Georgia Milestones. In ELA, currently and since the beginning of the school year, professional development has been provided on practices for small group instruction and also Tier 1 instruction in ELA. And also, we have noted that in order to effectively gauge if implementation is correct, we must have ongoing monitoring and support for the teachers. So another step we are taking is to make sure we monitor the implementation of small group instruction. And alongside that, when we are monitoring, we want to make sure we're providing feedback, coaching, and tiered support to the teachers in Tier 1 instruction, personalized learning, and small group instruction implementation. Now for our subgroups include special ed, ELA, special ed, ELL, and those students are our subgroups. Now, those action steps provide professional development for special ed interrelated teachers on best practices and co-teaching models, and also provide professional development for ELL teachers on best practices and strategies. And that is to increase our ELA scores. Also, in alignment with that, we have also set the same action steps for mathematics to increase or to reach our goal of 11%. And again, that is providing ongoing professional development weekly to our teachers to support best practices in small group instruction and personalized learning, and also those strategies needed for Tier 1 instruction. Also, the ongoing implementation and monitoring of small group instruction in the classroom, and ongoing feedback, coaching, and tiered support to the teachers for Tier 1 instruction, personalized learning, and small group instruction implementation in the math classroom. Same for those subgroups. We're going to provide ongoing professional development for our special ed interrelated teachers on best practices and co-teaching models, and also provide professional development for our ELL teachers on best practices and strategies to utilize in the classroom to meet the needs of the ELL scholars. Now, how will we see that increase in our ADA? 1, develop school-wide strategies and expectations to support level 1 infractions in the classroom, and provide monthly PD on identified strategies and support to minimize level 1 infractions in the classroom. Now we're moving on to our map data. Now, in front of you, you will see the scores from our spring 22-23 map. So that means the map that was taken in April of last school year. We have our 6th grade, 7th grade, and 8th grade data for both math and reading. One of the major things that you should see is that a lot of our scholars are not performing at the proficient or above level. In math, for 6th grade, 64% of our scholars are at the beginning level and 31% are at the developing level. So that is 95% of our scholars that are below proficiency in grade 6 in mathematics based off of the spring map, and 5% were at the proficient level. Also, in reading for 6th grade, 57% of our scholars were at the beginning level and 27% of our scholars were at the developing level. So right there, we have 84% of our scholars who were not at the proficiency level for 6th grade reading, and we have 14% of our scholars that did score the proficient level. And as you can see, we have a small amount of green, so that is less than 1%, meaning possibly 1 or 2 students that did score at the distinguished level on our ELA map on our reading map at the end of last school year. Now looking at 7th grade. With 7th grade, we have 56% of our scholars in mathematics scored at beginning level and 39% scoring at the proficient level. Right there, we have 95% of our scholars that have not showed mastery based off the map for mathematics in 7th grade last school year. And we have about 6% that's including proficient and distinguished, or those scholars that score on grade level. For 7th grade reading, we have 50%, I do apologize, of our scholars that scored at the beginning level and 37% that scored at the developing level. So that means we had 87% of our scholars who were not on grade level based off of the map last school year. We had 12% at the proficient level and about 1% at the distinguished level. And our 8th grade scholars. At the end of last school year, 58% of those scholars score at the beginning level in mathematics, and 35% of those scholars scored at the developing level. So if you look at that, we have about 94% of our scholars in mathematics that did not meet grade level performance standards based off of the map, and about 6% score at or above grade level. And finally, for our 8th grade reading last school year, 44% of our scholars score at the beginning level, 39% score at the developing level. So right there, we have about 83% of our scholars that did not meet grade level expectations based off of the spring 22-23 map, and about 16% of our scholars in 8th grade reading that were or above grade level. Now, the next slide you will see, this will actually show you the results from the map that we did take this school year. And this actually is going to be utilized for baseline data. And when I say baseline data, because the first map test that's taken each school year is that baseline data. And you will actually be able to determine, as far as teaching and standards-based teaching, if there's growth with these students on the second map, which will be administered this school year after we return from the holidays breaks. Now, for our 6th grade mathematics, 46% of our scholars were at the beginning level, 45% of our scholars were at the developing level, and 9% were at the proficient level. And that's 6th grade math. For 6th grade reading, 52% of our scholars were at the beginning level, 28% were at the developing level, and 19% were at the proficient level. And I don't know if you all can see, there is a little tad of green. We did have one scholar that scored distinguished on our 6th grade ELA reading assessment for math. Now, 7th grade math, 68% of our scholars scored at the beginning level, 28% score at the developing level. That gives about 96% of our scholars in the 7th grade math that scored below grade level expectations based off the fall map. And we had about 6% that scored proficient or above on that exam. For 7th grade reading, 65% of our scholars scored at the beginning level, 30% scored at the developing level. That's about 95% of the scholars based off the fall map results that did not meet grade level expectations. And we had 5% in reading that scored at the proficient level. And 8th grade math. 8th grade math, this school year, 53% of the students scored at the beginning level on the map for mathematics, and 41% score at the developing level. So that's 94% of our scholars that did not meet grade level expectations based off of the map, and about 6% performed at or above grade level expectations. And finally, 8th grade reading. 38% of our scholars scored at the beginning level, 44% scored at the developing level, 17% score at the proficient level, and again, it's about 1%. We had about 1 or 2 scholars in the 8th grade that did score at the distinguished level in reading for 8th grade on our fall map. Now, at this time, we can go into our discussion about the data that was provided. Please let me know if I need to go back to any slides so you can review if you have any questions.
Yes, Ms. Mccall, I'm very impressed by the map data for the 8th grade reading this year, this fall. And of course, those were most of them were our 7th graders last year. And I'm curious if you could go back, because I'm curious about the spring map results for our 7th graders. Oh, okay. Well, it looks like they've improved, haven't they?
Yes, we did. Based off of the map data, actually, if you look at, because these are the spring results from our map, but if you look at the data from our milestones assessment system, the actual data from the fall map assessment for our 8th graders in reading, they're somewhat similar to that of the Georgia milestones assessment. We did have about 17% of our students in 7th grade ELA last school year that score at proficient or above. So this is an alignment with what we saw at the end of last school year based off the Georgia milestone assessment results.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. And again, this is the protocol. Did you notice anything? Are there any wonderings, or do you have any additional questions?
Nobody has any question.
No.
No questions at this time.
Okay, I would like to jump in and say, right now we are in alignment as far as the strategies that we are attempting to utilize to increase our scores. Our dynamic instructional coaches, they have been working diligently with the teachers. And when I say very hard, they've been working. It is great to say that there have been some walks done in the building, and we are seeing the work that is being done by the teachers and the coaches. And this is a heavy lift for some, because if you don't know, especially post-pandemic, a lot of individuals who are coming into education, they don't have an education background. So when we're in the school, we're not only attempting to develop content knowledge, but we're also attempting to focus on pedagogy. So with that, some of our teachers are, and I'm going to say, are learning with the students. But this has been a shift for a lot of our teachers, whether you're new or whether you have been in education for a while. Because when it comes to small group instruction, there is a level of intentionality that you must have with that, and you must utilize the data to make sure you're focusing on those gaps that have been identified by the students. But I will say that the teachers are doing a great job. Does not say that they're perfect, far from it. But where we need to be thus far, based off of what we did see in August, we are on the path to actually, and I'm going to say, meet the goals that we have set. But as I stated, this next map that we will take after the Thanksgiving break, this will be a true indicator to see how our work has done thus far. But I am excited because, as I say, the staff has really been putting in the work to see those gains that we need in these content areas.
I feel like that was well spoken, and I definitely agree with what you're saying.
Do I need to move to, so are you ready for the next slide?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I think the next thing is the principal's report. So you want to shift to the information item?
Yes, we will now move on to the information items. First is the principal's report.
Okay. As the slide says, we have had great things going on at C.W. Long Middle School in October and November. So let's see what happened. And when I say October and November, of course, we have had great things going on all school year. But at this meeting, we will highlight the things that we have gone on in these last 2 months. And I'm going to stop and reshare so you all can see this item. Here are some of our highlights from October and November. Now, in the month of October, our cheerleading team, they came in second place at the district's cheer off or district cheer competition. They are led by Miss Porti, and she has done a wonderful job to support our scholars, but at the same time, ensure that the students are able to participate in different competitions and enhance their ability as cheerleaders. Also, as we all know, October was the season for trunk or treating. And here at Long Middle School, we had a dynamic parent engagement night that was facilitated by not only our instructional coaches, but our parent liaison. And one thing that we really need here at Long Middle School is to increase parent engagement. And I can say this school year, we have truly seen an increase of the parents involved. So 2 of those pictures show some of the stations that we did have, but at the same time, it shows that our parents were involved, and they were not only involved, but they participated in that event. And as you can see, we have some of our families with their costumes on, and we have one family that actually wore a family costume. And we have one of our instructional coaches, Dr. Robinson. She's here where she had a painting station for our scholars, and also any parent that brought their child with them, they were also able to participate in that station. As I spoke on earlier, we do have a lot of new teachers, and with that, we want to make sure that they are engaging our scholars. Now, I'm not sure if this video will play again, but initially when I had the video up, you saw one of our 6th grade social studies teachers engaging the scholars, and they were actually focused on learning the standards they are currently learning in the classroom, but the teacher utilized a song that many of the students are familiar with to allow them to learn that information. And as you can see, there is a need for the use of various strategies to meet the needs of our learners. So these are some of the ways that our teachers are allowing our students to engage in the classroom. And again, that goes back to that personalized learning and pretty much allows students to have various strategies so they can learn in the classroom. Now, this is only a small portion of the things that happen in Crawford Long in October. Now moving to November. First, on the far left of the screen, my left, your right, you will see Miss Sinkfield and Miss Mays. Miss Sinkfield is our 2023-24 support person of the year. She is our school bookkeeper. And our teacher of the year for the 23-24 school year is Miss Shamika McCoy Mays. Miss Mays is a dynamic 8th grade science teacher, and she has been at Crawford Long about 11 or 12 years. I'm sorry, as you can see, it's shut down. And also in that slide, and I'm sorry, it's not sharing for some reason at this point. I'm going to restart. But also in the November slide, our very own, Kadon Sims. He was a 23-24 Reach Scholar. And if you're not familiar with Reach, only 8 scholars are selected in the Atlanta Public School System for this recognition. Kadon, once he completes high school, he will receive a $10,000 scholarship from Reach, and also along that, he will have a coach to support him along the way as he transitions through high school. So, of course, we are very proud of Kadon Sims, and there are some other things that Kadon has done this school year. In the month of November, he was also selected as a scholar to be filmed from the I Am APS video. So that video will be coming out soon. Now, there's another picture with Kadon and one of our scholars, Crawford Long, and I'm proud to say we not only have a debate team, we have a debate team that's actively participating in debates this school year. Our debate team is led by none other than our 8th grade science teacher, Ms. Russia Robertson. And I'm proud to say that our debate team at the first competition, in the team placement, this team actually placed 10th overall. Kadon Sims received a speaker award for the 12th overall best speaker. And our very own Miss Russia Robinson, social studies teacher here at Long Middle School, she actually received the award for being the debate coach of the month. So kudos to Miss Robinson and our debate team at Long Middle School. And the final picture that you will see is one of our STEM challenges, one of the many STEM challenges and opportunities that we have our scholars engaged in here at Long Middle School. As you know, Crawford Long is Cotton certified, and we're working towards the progression to actually receive state certification. So our science coach, our science/STEM coach, Mr. Murphy, alongside Ms. Porti, they had our scholars to participate in a STEM challenge for National STEM Day. And our scholars were very, very excited. Now, with this challenge, students had to actually build, and when I say build, out of paper and tape, they had to build a model that will hold the largest number of books. And it was very good to see across the board, all of our scholars at every grade level, very much so engaged. Now, this picture right here is actually one of our 8th grade classes. Actually, it's our debate coach and the coach of the month for APS, Ms. Russia Robinson's class. Now, with this class, they were very excited. And I know that we actually thought that they had something holding their tower up. But we saw after they did it over, they took pictures, they did videos to show that they did not have anything in the middle of it. And once we counted, there were 46 books being held just by a single piece of construction paper. Unfortunately, there was another class at the end of the hallway who had 50 books, so they were the winners of that challenge. But across grade level, we did have 3 home classes where students were able to beat the challenge for each grade level. For 6th grade, we had Miss Phyllis Robinson, Miss Retta Shaw for our 6th grade group. For 7th grade, we had, and Mr. Murphy, jump in if you can recall our 7th grade group.
7th grade, we had
Was it Miss? I do apologize. We'll have to look at that seventh grade group. Please charge it to our minds and not our hearts.
Eighth grade
So
was
our
Miss
seventh
Apostolis.
and eighth grade was Miss Apostolis, and with that group, this group on the screen had 46 books, and Miss Apostolis class had 50 books. So these are some of just the great things that are going on, and this is just a snippet. If you would like to see other things, please make sure you look at our Twitter page for Crawford Lawn Middle School so you can see the ongoing engagement of our teachers, scholars, parents, and staff on a daily basis. So these are the highlights for October and November from the Crawford W. Lawn Middle School. Okay.
All right. Our cluster advisory team report.
Miss Boston is not on
Not here, so we will
I will just give
reschedule
an
that.
update.
Okay.
We did not meet, so there has been a rescheduling for our cluster advisory team for after we come back from the holidays, only because we want to make sure we're very intentional with our parents. So our parent liaison, Ms. Trammell, she actually created a cluster survey for parents, and it has been sent out to all cluster principals and parent liaisons so they can view that and make any edits. And then this survey will be sent out to all parents in the cluster so we can get a needs assessment of their needs so we can make sure we're providing support to those parents, but at the same time, removing any barriers that may be there that we on the school end can support them with.
All right. I don't believe that we have any additional items. Does anyone have any announcements they would like to make?
I have one. It was Ms. Harness, seventh grade class, Serenity, Brianna, and Canola with 45 books.
Kanala.
I have an announcement that Miss A cheated. Her books were real thin that day. I just want to let you know, but it's okay. We shall move on. Okay, no other announcements.
No, I'd like to announce, so the spelling bee is coming up. We're going to be having our spelling bee on December 1st and December 8th, the first round. See who makes it to December 8th and see who makes it.
Do you know how many people we're starting with, Ms. Delnice?
We have 62 students signed up to be in the spelling bee, and they've all gotten their word lists, and tomorrow we'll be meeting briefly to go over the standard rules of how a spelling bee functions and what they are allowed to do. I created a Google Classroom for them all to join to get strategies for how to get ready for a spelling bee. Let me see. Yeah, no, it's very exciting. I'm pleased that so many kids have are sticking with it. Some saw the word list and said, "Oh no!" And I said, "Look, when you do a spelling bee, it's the luck of the draw. You could get the easy word,
right,
and stay in there. There is that factor. So that's exciting. Anyway, that is coming up.
I'm sorry. And I would like to say for the month of December, we have some exciting things coming up on behalf of our dynamic partners here at Long Middle School. So please stay tuned, but also our One Fair is coming up. Our coaches are working with our scholars and teachers and students on their projects. And I'm not sure if the coaches have told the students, but we're working on some incentives for those scholars who do a dynamic job on their project and those who actually go beyond the school fair. So we are in works with some incentives for those students, and thus far some great projects have been produced, and I know that students are still working. So there will be, based off of my me looking currently, there will be an increase in the number of students that are participating in our One Fair compared to previous years.
Yes, we love it here. Good job. All right. We have reached the end of our agenda. Is there any additional business at this time? Ms. Delnice, your mind clear? Anything else? All right. May I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Motion to adjourn.
Okay, a second.
I second that motion.
All in favor, raise your hand.
Aye.
All opposed, please say nay. Any abstentions, please say abstain. All right, our meeting is adjourned at 6:13.
Thank you all. Everyone have a great evening and happy holidays.
If you are still at the school, we're playing today. Girls game start at 5:45. Boys game starts at 6:30. See you here if you can make it.
One more thing, our next meeting is on December 6th. Not
Ooh.
too far away.
All
Okay.
right.
Thank
Thank you.
Okay, have a great evening, everyone.
Thanksgiving.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank
Happy Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
Okay. What time is six? 12, 6, 6:30.